Welcome back to Market on Close. I'm Renita Young in for Oliver Rennick. Time now to look at one more stock as earnings come in, and we're welcoming in senior markets correspondent George Tsilis. Broadcom earnings are out. They're just hitting the wire. Walk us through what you're seeing so far, George.
Well, I mean, so far, sort of a down reaction for Broadcom, which has really performed phenomenally well this last year, affiliated with artificial intelligence. When it comes down to networking solutions and semiconductor solutions, effectively Broadcom is a company that is really locked in when it comes down to artificial intelligence growth, but also networking solutions. And effectively, it's an infrastructure stock. So it's a very important name, too, because it is a large market cap. A lot of folks just talk about NVIDIA because it's over $1 trillion, but Broadcom is about a $380 billion market cap based business with about 80% of the Fortune 500 companies utilizing their network and storage solutions. But if you look at the overall report, it was actually very promising for Broadcom. It looks like the earnings beat coming in around $10.54 versus the $10.43 estimate. And looking at that, that's about an 8.5% increase compared to the same quarter last year, where they earned about $9.73. And also, looking at the sales, they beat fractionally here at $8.88 billion versus $8.86. Compared that to last year at $8.46 billion, that was about an increase of about 9% compared to the same quarter last year. So pretty modest increase when it comes down to sales and earnings growth for Broadcom. Again, some question about the performance. If you look at it a year to date, it's up 66%. But ideally speaking, I think this is a name that is sort of overlooked, despite the fact that it's such a large cap company and effectively a vertically integrated targeted network solutions company that's, again, ubiquitous across multiple and most, if you will, Fortune 500 companies.
You're absolutely right. I mean, we can talk about AI all we want, but we can also talk about how it is in mobile sectors, with Apple being its largest customer. You know, what are we looking at positioning around Broadcom's performance with Apple as its biggest customer, with the demand that has been going down recently for iPhones?
Well, I think if you actually look, it's a good question, by the way. If you look at what is happening with Broadcom, about 10% of their total sales last year were artificial intelligence related. If you look at a forward basis, they're expecting by 2024, 25% of sales. This is for their semiconductor solutions business. So that in of itself gives you an idea that they're less lenient, if you will, or reliant on Apple's products. Now, they are, of course, very embedded in the Internet of Things, mobile interface, wired and wireless infrastructure, effectively Bluetooth, if you will, and set-top boxes, and even Wi-Fi routers for the home. So they do still have a hardware business, but one of the things about this company is they've actually moved aggressively into network solutions as well as cybersecurity. So they broaden out their offerings, vertically integrated now alongside semiconductor solutions. So the hardware component of their business, I suggest, is a little bit less reliant on major customers like Apple. And I think this is one of the reasons why we've seen sort of a multiple expansion, but also price movement higher significantly this last year, because it is more of a networking stock now versus a typical or traditional semiconductor name.
All right. Well, the headlines are continuing to come out, but we're going to have to leave it there. George Tsilis, thank you so much for talking and walking us through Broadcom's earnings.